For several months now, the coronavirus pandemic has continued to devastate the globe. Countries around the world resorted to closing their borders and airspace as one of the strict measures put in place to contain its spread. But many countries, including Kenya, could not sustain the shutdown for long and instead opted to reopen their airspaces amidst the pandemic, raising the question over whether this will expose passengers to the risk of contracting the deadly virus, which has so far infected more than 18 million people and claimed over 689,000 lives globally. Airlines now racing against time in stepping up measures to guarantee safety of passengers both at the airport and on board, but not without related challenges. The Director of Product Marketing for Boeing Commercial Airplanes, the manufacturers of Dreamliner, Jim Haas, says that, like in many spheres, maintaining social distancing in aircrafts will be a tall order and may compromise the COVID-19 containment measures on board.
In flying on airplanes, where social distancing isn't really possible, we have other protective countermeasures in place to protect the passenger travel.
The impracticability of social distancing may, however, not be that big of a challenge, courtesy of a key feature built in aircraft since the 1980s, known as the Hepa filters, also known as the high-efficiency particulate air filtration system. Internal air passes through the aircraft's Hepa filters and mixed with external air before being channeled back to the cabin in a process that takes every 3 minutes and is 99.9% effective in killing a wide range of airborne viruses and bacteria.
The way the cabin air flows vertically downward, the Hepa filters that pull out over 99.9% of viruses, and the rate at which cabin air is exchanged very rapidly.
Boeing is also exploring a wide range of technological advancements, including in the disinfection of aircrafts, to ensure that passengers do not contract the virus while on board.
The first technology we're looking at is antimicrobial coatings, and these are coatings that are typically sprayed on to surfaces such as lavatories, overhead bins, and what they do is provide a very hostile environment for viruses and bacteria. So if a virus or bacteria lands on these surfaces, they won't replicate. In fact, they will eventually die. We're also working with airlines on more effective ways to apply the chemical disinfectants using electrostatic sprayers that will spray the chemical out and put a charge on those chemicals so they stick to surfaces to provide more effective disinfection.
But even with the enhanced COVID-19 safety measures, personal responsibility remains pivotal in preventing the spread of the coronavirus.
Our advice to passengers is follow the airline guidance. The airlines are working very closely with health organizations. Follow the hand sanitization procedures. Don't travel if you feel ill. Reschedule your flight. And rest assured that the air travel journey is being protected.
But with fears over the possibility of passenger-to-passenger transmission, will it be necessary to redesign the seating arrangement in aircrafts?
No, we don't see a need to redesign the seating arrangements on the airplane. And a good a good proof point of this is the International Air Transport Association has done several surveys of many carriers looking to see if passenger-to-passenger transmission of a virus is happening on the airplane. And they've done analysis of a number of carriers that actually had people with active viruses traveling. And what they found was it's very, very rare to have passenger-to-passenger transmission.
Observing the COVID-19 safety protocols before boarding an aircraft, thoroughly disinfecting the aircraft before each flight, the aircraft's protective measures such as the Hepa filters, and personal responsibility is what Jim describes as the multiple layers of protection, which, if jointly implemented, will help countries like Kenya, which have reopened their airspaces, to keep the virus at bay. For Channel One News, I'm Serfine Achieng Ouma.